I'm Sophie Williams. You're watching Enemy. We're at Reading Festival with the lovely Declan McKenna. Declan, how are you?
I'm very well, Sophie. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you. So you're set to make your main stage debut later today. How are we feeling about it?
Very, very excited. It's a big one. I mean, yeah, we've played Reading once before, and it's such an important festival. I think, to me, holds such a gravitas, or whatever you call it. That's a word that I've never used in my whole life, but I'm delighted. It's a big moment for us, I think.
And obviously, you've been out on tour this week as well, and you've waited a whole year to play the songs from Zeros live. What's the response been like?
Amazing. We've been playing literally the whole album at our headline shows, and just like seeing people react to them finally in that environment. It's just amazing. Like, it's really, really cool. We've had so much time to dwell over what we're doing and all of that, and just getting out and doing it. You know, we haven't had a whole lot of shows to really go off of the way we're going to do our set list or whatever, but it's kind of worked out really nicely. People have just been so up for it, and so excited for the gigs. So and so have we. So yeah, it's been really cool.
Especially compared to the first album as well. Obviously, Zeros is quite theatrical, a lot of epic choruses on there. How do you think that has changed your live performance?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was kind of the point of Zeros, was to change things in terms of the way we were going to do the live shows, and just more expansive ideas, and it's something that would feel bigger and more theatrical in the grand scheme of things on record and live. And like getting the chance to play them now has really been cool, because the experience has been something that's been in the works for the past couple of months now, really, and finally seeing it come to life, it's like, wow, this is really what it's all about. And like, I don't know, I think compared to the first album, I was just able to be a bit more delicate and a bit more like, could go into the whole world of it in terms of the live, in terms of everything. So yeah, that's been really cool, because taking the reins and everything is just super exciting, obviously, and so different from the whirlwind that was the first album that just kind of happened.
I mean, life's changed quite drastically since that first album as well. So yeah, but speaking of the recent single, My House, as well, it's a lot more mellow and calm compared to what we had from Zeros last year. Is that kind of an indication of where we're going with album 3?
Not entirely, but yeah, I've definitely been looking to produce more stuff for myself, more intimate sounding stuff, more of the quirks that come with when I'm just kind of left to my own devices and working on stuff, because I think that's maybe something that the records that I have made have missed, is like a little bit of my character in terms of production, which has been in the works since I was younger and I wasn't very confident with before, but now I feel quite confident in it. So My House was a nice example of that. I think I just needed more songs in the set as well to like rest my voice a little bit in, because the whole new album and like British Bombs as well, it's like which is hard work. I'm not really a big voice kind of guy. I just kind of shout when I get to that point. So I'm kind of excited for figuring out what the next album is going to be, but it's definitely more intimate in ways, but still going to have bangers. But yeah, Zeros is fucking intense, so
time.
It's going to not be quite like that.
When you talk about production there and kind of taking the reins over with that, why is that creative control been so important to you?
Well, it's always been important to me in different ways. It's just like what you feel is necessary to show at a certain point in time. That's all a new record can be, really, is almost a learning curve. I find each record I'm constantly learning and just dipping your toes into something and then being like, oh my god, this is a new world for me making music. And like that's where I feel now. Like I never really felt confident to like finish stuff on my own, or like be overall producing things, or getting actually like drilling stuff and getting it done. And like I've just been like, oh wait, I'm like totally good enough to do this now. So like, I don't know, I'm still going to obviously collaborate with a lot of people, but like this time really, taking the reins has meant having my recordings in my computer that I can fuck with and do whatever I want. And like that's been the exciting point of this. With Zeros, maybe it was working on the structures and expanding stuff, and then going in with the band and working on it in that environment and capturing this energy. And this time it's just a little bit different from that, and it's a little bit of a parallel to what I've done before, which is what I think a lot of my favourite artists kind of talk about doing, and what I've kind of taken on board is finding that parallel and running away with it, not really worrying if anyone gives a shit about it or not, you know.
Exactly the mentality we should be having.
Creativity kind of comes from a little bit of confusion and a little bit of like not knowing where you're going, because every time I said this many times before, but anytime I like try and write a single or try and write like an upbeat song, shit pulp song every time. Shit pulp song, and it's not worth doing. I did one shit pulp song and it was The Kids Don't Want to Come Home, and it was alright.
It's not a shit pulp song. It's not a shit pulp song. You're just saying that now.
It's a pulp album track.
Okay. We'll settle on that. I mean, speaking of collaboration, actually, last time we spoke, you told me you were planning on working with Sam Fender. With any developments there?
No. No, we've both been doing all sorts of shite. So this is going to be the first time I've seen him in like 2 years or something. Like, I ain't seen him in ages, so no developments. But we'll get into studio at some point. He's a busy boy, and we've both kind of had a whole lot going on the last year. It's obviously been bizarre. So all of the stuff that we've kind of wanted to do, not just with all our different artists who I've befriended over the years, who you want to work with and want to get in the studio with. Especially recently, that's become really important to me, because working with people was one of the only ways to get inspired, I felt, for a while, because there was just nothing changing, nothing new, nothing exciting. And it's just all the experiences and going away from music and then coming back to it and, finding that gets me inspired. So having a person who just tackles things in a different way in the room with you working on music is like really, really, has been really important, and has kind of helped with that whole, working on the production myself thing, and like that I'm in the studio with someone and I've kind of got a slightly different head on to when I'm on my own, and I've got their ideas to bounce off, and like that's been vital. So more things will come, because I've been really, really buzzing about working with people. But we'll see. I'm excited to see Sam later though, hopefully.
Excited for the album?
Oh yeah, I haven't heard any of it yet.
You haven't heard any?
I've obviously heard the stuff he's released, but I am buzzing to hear it.
And who are some of those other dream collaborations and people that you want to work with?
Dream collabs, probably St. Vincent. I love a lot. I think that would be amazing. Such a difficult question, because there's literally so many people I would work with. Frank Ocean. Get me in the studio with Frank Ocean. How amazing would that be? Yeah, I know. I bet it would be so scary, but fuck it. That would be a dream collab. That would be so cool. I don't know. Everyone.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us this morning, and enjoy the rest of your Reading Festival.
Yeah, and yourself. Thanks for chatting to me. I'll see you soon.